Well, hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to try to answer a question here in Java. Let me just open the files here. So what do we do here? We have three Java files here. We have the class called input grades with the main function, which is empty. We do have a class called student, and here we got a list of members. And then we have a college course. Now, the relationship between those classes is this main function is where we're going to create objects of the students. And inside the student Java file here, we have a student ID number, and we have an array of 4 course or college courses. So I'm going to create an array of data type college course. So to start with, let's go ahead and look at this college course before we get here. We do have a declaration for 3 private data members. We have a string for the course ID, we have a credits, and we have the grade. And we have the setters, the getters, and we have the setters. So all we have to do is just to complete this section here. I'm not going to get them all done. I'm just going to finish the first one. So for example, get ID, return course ID. Course ID. Remember here, the name should match with whatever we have here. So this is course ID, this is course ID, and you can get it. So you're going to get the same thing done for get the credits and get the grades. Now, for the setters, well, I'm going to use whatever is going to be passed to me to assign it to the course ID here. So I'm going to say course ID. Let's copy it, and I'll put it here. Equal ID num. Okay, so this is very straightforward, and the remaining are going to be very easy to implement. So I'm done here. What I'm going to do, let's go to the student ID and try to finish everything here. So again, we do have a course ID, getter here, so return stu ID, and then we have the setter, which is again same thing as just like we did here. The difficulty or the difficult part is this part here. What do we have here? We have the college course get course, and then we have the set course. Now the get course set course is very simple. As you can see here, you're going to be receiving a value x. X here represent the index of the course you want to actually get. So this is basically going to be a simple return. And since I called it course, so that's the name of the array. Now there are 5 elements, so which element I'm supposed to return? Well, basically the x1. And for the set, well, you're going to be passing a college course object and the index. So what I'm going to do, just like we did here, we're going to have access to that course at that index, and we're going to try to change it to whatever C is. And then I'm done. So those are the functions that you have to, now you can see that here you're going to have to set the ID, just like, where is it? Set the ID using the ID num, and you have to get this done. Now, what else do we need to do here? I closed that question, but I believe we will need to create objects here. And what makes it a little bit difficult for me, I don't remember the question. There are no constructors here. So at what part I'm supposed to actually assign a value to this course ID. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut this video, go read the question, and I'm going to be back. Well, I'm back now. Here's the question. After I finished those college course and student class, I got to the class that contained the main function, and these are the requirements. Basically, I need to ask the user to enter the data for 5 different courses for 10 students. So basically, I will have 10 students in an array. For each student, I will have to enter his information, and one piece of information, it's basically the array of 5 courses that that student has. This is basically a nested loop solution. Why is it nested loop? Because for each student out of those 10, that student has 5 classes. So I have to go for each student, repeat something for 5 times for each student. Let's go ahead and start with the declarations. Basically, we need to have a scanner. And I will call it me equal new scanner. Again, don't call it me. I'm just bored. New scanner system.in. Let me close it here, me.close. So I get rid of that. Now I need to have an array for students. So it's uppercase student, and I will call it my student. And it's a new student, and the size is 10. That's basically what he asked for. Okay, so let's talk about each student individually. Each student individually will have, what is it? A student ID. And the student ID is basically an integer. So I'm going to have to ask the user for that, of course. And then also, I'm going to have to ask the user for 5 values of the college course data type. Each one of those 5 that I'm going to create will have a course ID, a course credit, and a grade. So I need to have a string, integer, character. All these declarations has to be declared here again. I need to have variables for each one of them. So let's start with the student ID. It's basically an integer, so we'll come here and say integer student ID. Student ID, me student ID. Let's just put it that way so you will know that this is an input data that's going to be entered. There's another integer which is called the course ID. So let's go ahead and do that. Course ID, but again I'm going to call it me course ID. And let me change this to be lowercase d, lowercase d, and after that, what do we have here? We're going to enter the credits. That's an integer, so let's go ahead and put a comma here. Course credit. Let me see here. Course credits. Yeah, I knew it. This goes here, this goes here, course credits, and me, again. Every time I'm going to actually have this variable to be assigned by the user, I'll go with me. Wait a minute, I made a mistake. Course ID is supposed to be a string. Is it? Yes. Let me cut that from here. So let's go string course ID, and then finally character me underscore grade, and let's put it that way. So here we go. Those are my 5 variables, and I need to ask the user to enter those values. Let me just go back and read if I missed anything. So basically, we're going to have to ask prompt the professor to enter the date for one student at a time, including the student ID and the course data for 5 courses. Okay, that sounds okay. Use a prompt containing the number of student whose data is being entered and the course number. For example, course ID for student number 1 and enter course ID. I don't understand what he means by this. Okay, let me just go ahead and see what, try to break it down. Again, the language of the book that we're using is not helping at all. Use prompt containing the number. Oh, okay, I see. Basically, he wants you to show a message to the user about the information that he's about to enter, like enter the information for student number 1 and then enter the course ID number 5. Okay, I see what's going on here. Okay, verify that the professor entered only A, B, C, D, F for the grade, so that's an if statement there. And that basically means we need to go back if he made a mistake. Display the information in that form. Okay. So for student number 1, ID, that's his ID, and this is the classes that he is enrolled in. Let's see. Okay, everything looks okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here and start with my for loops. For, and let's open a grade and curly brace, integer st equals 0, st for student number. Well, let's just put n here. And then as long as stn is less than 10, stn plus plus. That's my inner for loop. Now my outer for loop. Now the inner for loop, I'm going to go integer course number equals 0, and then course number is less than 5, and then course number plus plus. You open a curly brace and you close it, and I'm done with my inner loop. Now in this area, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to ask the user to enter grade. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, there's multiple ways to answer this question. I'm going to go with what I can think about right now. So first thing first, well actually, instead of going with 10, let's just type my stu dot length. And instead of going with 5, well, I have to go with 5 because I didn't declare that right here. It's declared here. So what I can do, I can come here and create an integer, final integer. And I'll just go and type integer, and I will call it course number equal 5. And I am so lazy. Course number. Number of courses. That makes more sense. Number of courses equal 5. I'm going to use that special number, and I'm going to put it here instead of 5. Okay. So let's go ahead here and ask the user to enter the data. System.out.print. And in this area, we'll just put the following message. Enter. Let me just go back to the message. He wanted to look like this for, okay, enter ID for student number 1. Is that what he wanted? Okay. I am going to make it a little bit different, and it should work. Let's say for student ID, or for student number, and let me just go here and put a plus. Now if I come here and type stn, it's going to be 0. I don't want 0. When I want it to be shown on the screen, I just want it to look how we people actually treat numbers. We start counting from 1, not 0. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So for student number, instead of 0, number 1, let's go ahead and add a plus here, put a question, parenthesis, double quotations, enter the student ID. Let's put ID upper cases. Okay, can you guess what the next step will be? Enter the student ID. Here it is. Me, student ID equal me dot next integer. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. I'm done with the first entry. And now what I'm going to do here, I need to set the ID. Now the question is, which ID I'm supposed to set? We do have an array of students here. So, and we are starting with 0. So my stu of stn dot set ID should equal whatever the value that I entered here. Okay, don't give me a hard time. Accept it, please. Voila. Here we go. So I'm done with the student ID. Now, after that, I need to move to the courses, which basically, as I said, I have to repeat this for 5 times. The thing that stinks here is that I need to make sure that the user will enter a grade in this range of A, B, C, D, E, F. So let's go ahead and start asking the user for those values one by one. Let's start with let's start asking the user about what? Let's see, what is the first thing I'm supposed to ask the user about? The ID, course ID. So let's go ahead. What I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this. Let me copy all of this and put it down. So for student ID, again, same thing. Number 1, enter the course ID. Enter the, this is going to be long, course ID, or course number, I believe. Course number. And let's take this away, and then you put a plus, and this time you're going to put, what did I call it? Con plus 1. Again, remember, we count from 0, but we want it to look like we're counting from 1, so that's the only thing that I'm doing here. And we'll just put double quotation just to make it look good. And I need to put a plus here. Okay, so this is basically going to be repeated 5 times, and of course, I am going to ask the user about his course ID, which is a string. So I was going to put a string here, and then instead of next integer, it's basically going to be next. Remember, there should not be lines or spaces between them, as you can see here. Oh, there is a space. So let's go ahead and put next line. I hope this is not going to give me a hard time later, but let's just keep going. After that, what do? We need to ask for what? The credits. So let me copy this and put it here. Now for student number, blah, 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 enter the credits. Enter the credits for course, and the number are going to be printed on the screen. And then here I need to get the credits, which again, it's an integer, so good for us. It's supposed to be integer here. Integer. Now that I'm done with that, so this is going to be repeated 5 times. I'm going to enter the course and the credit. Let's make sure that we're going to get the grade correct. So I'll go while. I'll just put true here. And I'm going to ask the user to enter the grade. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to copy this again. Yep, I know now. I'll just copy this. Next, it's going to be next, but next, not next. Now, let's just copy this now and put it here. So, while true, what I'm going to do, for the student number, blah, 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 enter the grade instead of course. Enter the, what did I copy? No, I made a mistake. Let me copy the right one. I need to copy this second one here. Copy this, put it here. Just modify it. Enter not the credits. We need to enter the grade for the course. Now we're going to go with next because it's a single character, and since this is a character, where is it? My grade, me grade. Now, we do have a problem here that we need to talk about. Next, we'll return a string, and this is a character. So I need to convert this string to be a single character. So if I come here and just type, is it character at, what just happened? And this is not how we do it, character at, and you put 0. This is the first one that we want the first one actually. So that's what I do. But again, yep, now the error is gone. I need to make sure that the user is going to enter the right character. So I have to have an if statement here. It's going to be a little bit stupid, and it should be a little bit longer. There's a more efficient way to do that, but I'm just going to make it as simple as I can think about. So if my grade, me grade, double equal A, or, oops, that's not an or. And I have to go ahead and compare with all the characters. Let's put a B here. Let me copy this. Control C, Control V. So that's a C, ABC. That's a D. That's an E. And that's an F. So if the grade equaled any of those, leave the while loop. Remember, this will only get you outside of this while loop. And here we go. So if you didn't make any mistakes, you break. Otherwise, if you make a mistake, go back and enter the right grade. Do I need to show a message for that or not? No, there is no need for any message. Okay, well, it will make more sense if I have a message to be printed, so I'll just go ahead and do that. And I'll just need to put an else here, and I'll just go system down, print line incorrect grade. Great. Try again, genius. Okay, now if you made a mistake, that message is going to be appearing, and then you have to go back and try to enter a new grade again. It has to be uppercase, by the way, just to let you know. Now I'm going to create a course, college course object. So let me just copy the name here to make sure. Copy. You go all the way down, and I'm going to call it temp course equal new. And basically, we're not going to pass anything here for the arguments. That will be it. Now I need to set all the values using the value that I entered. So copy this, put it here, and then put it here and put it here. We do have 3 values that we entered. So dot, yes, it should show me set what? Let me just look at the setters that I have here. set ID. So set ID uppercase, and I'm going to pass the ID that I asked the user to enter, which is my course ID. I'll put it here. No, not here. Here. Stop complaining, please. Dot set. What else do we set? We set credits. And then we're going to use the value that we asked the user to enter for the credits, which is my course credits. And then finally, we have the grade, me grade. Set, what is it called again? Set grade. What is it? Grade. And then, of course, I have to pass me_grade, the one that I just entered. Now that I got a course credit created, I simply need to use that object to be assigned to this course college, which basically, here it is. Where is it? Set, call this function here, set the course college credit. How do we do that? Let's go back here. And most importantly, where do I do that? So this is the while loop, and this is the for loop for the student. I definitely need to do that before I leave this loop. So here's where I'm going to go. Let's go back here. We do have a student. Where is it? That's what we called. And then we have a number for that student, which is stn dot set, and the function is called set course. Look at the set course, except 2 arguments. So set course. The first thing I'm going to pass is basically the temp course without an E. And then you have to pass where you want to put it inside that. Well, basically it's going to be for the first, or not the first one. It's basically going to be whatever the student that I'm entering right now. And I think I am done right here. Right after that, this basically will take me and finish everything here. I need to go ahead and show the results the way that you want it to be shown. For simplicity, I'm just going to create a for loop. Actually, I need to have an instant for loop just like we had before to be able to show them all. So we'll go here and create a for loop. And you know what, I'm going to copy whatever I did here. I'm going to do the same thing for this loop here. And then the message basically is telling you to show this first. Student ID number and the course ID. So I will start with that. Let's go down and put a system of down system.out.print line. Yeah, I should go to the next line after I'm done. And let me just put the message. Now, I'm going to put student, and I'll keep the number here right. And then here, instead of 1, I actually want to see the stn as an object, as a number, sorry. And then I'll put a double quotation, and then I'll have a single space here, ID number, and then another double quotation, and then you pass a plus, and then now I need to get the student ID. So it's basically, what do I call it from the beginning? My STU. So my STU here. Oh, dear God, why do you go there? Of STN, so that basically will take me through the 10 students that I have. Dot get the ID, get the ID. Here it is. Now this is get ID. get ID. And of course, I have to put a parentheses here. So this line, of course, I wrote it in the wrong place. This should not be in this area. It should be for the student. And now here in this area, I'm supposed to print the message that we had. I'm just going to copy one of those and use it as a format and see what I can do in this area. So let me just put it as a comment. And then let's take the print line and let's open a parenthesis and close it, put a semicolon here, and let's start. So I'm supposed to print the course ID. So how do I do that? Well, let's go ahead. This is not as easy as I thought it would be. I need to do this. So that for that student, dot get, look at this here, get, where is it? Get course. Now remember, oops, where am I? What I'm going to do basically, I need to create an object to store that course that I'm going to read. So let's go ahead and do that. So just like we did here, let me copy this. I'm going to come here, and let's call it temp. So it will look a little bit different than the one that we had up. So I create a new course, temporary. So temp is going to equal Control X, put it here, get, dear Lord, where is it? Get course. Get course. Now, which course? Basically, as I'm moving from one student through the other, so I'm going to use STN here for the student in the order of STN. Now, he doesn't like it because, oh, look at this beautiful get. Okay, now I got temp here, and I can use it to get to the other elements that I have here. So let's start with get the course ID. Why do I minimize it? Get course ID. This will print the course ID. After that, I will put a plus, and then there is a space, and there's two dashes, and there's a space. Oh, the dashes are the credit. Okay. So there is no dashes. There's a credit here. Okay, so I need to have a space here. So what do I do? How do I use spaces here? Oh, I'll just go ahead and do it that way. Course, and then credit and plus, and then just like we did temp dot get credits, and then you put a plus and then space credits. This is going to be printed, and I'm supposed to put a double quotation, and after that there's a dot and then a double quotation and then a space and grade is space and then plus temp dot get grade. Oh, grade. Can you guys guess how grumpy I am today? Okay, so here we go. This should be it. And now let's give this a try. Go, error, go. Go, error, go. Nope, it's not going to go. I think he's complaining because there's no constructors, but we know that by default it should create. Oh, see? Even though there's an error, but the program was able to execute. So enter student ID number 1. I'll go with 12. That's the value like it. Aha. Line number 37. What are you complaining about? Wrong null pointer exception. I knew it. He's not going to like this because something didn't look good here. So let's try to fix this. I do have a 10 students. I call them my STU, and then STU. Where is STU here? Okay, I think I know what's going on here. So this is the array, and let me create another student this time. STU student, sorry, and I will call it me. No, I don't want to go me student. I'll just go single student equal new student. So this basically should work. Now, at a certain point, let me just go back here, and this single student, I'm going to use it. Where's the part? Yeah, here. Instead of assigning it by having access to the arrays, let's just go ahead and assign it temporarily to that student here. And just like we did that, let's do it here again. Okay, right after that, I need to figure out, I need to assign this student, the single student that I just created now, and assign it to STU of xn. So I just want to make sure that I'm not going to make any mistakes. Let's go ahead. This is a for loop, and this is another for loop. So what is this for loop coming from? I think I might have made a mistake somewhere. I need to count. Okay, this is the if statement. Oh, look at this. This is as long as I'm in the while, this is going to be implemented. That's where I made a mistake here. This should not be here. Remember, I need to do and get that done after I'm done with the while loop, so it should be done here. So this while will give me the right grade, and then after that I will finish this process, and now here, this is the right place for what I'm doing. I need to assign the single student to the array student. So the array student, which is called mySTU, of, and look at this, of what? Of STN equal, and we'll assign single student to it. The idea here is to actually perform all the assignment operation to a single student, and then take that single student and assign it to one of the students in that array one by one. Let's see if that's going to solve the problem. Okay, I'm going to try again. 12. I'll look at this interval student number 2. Of course, this is a mismatch exception. I'm guessing because of this next line, I'm getting this error. So let's try to, where is the student ID? Me dot next line. So we just clean the buffer. Let's run it again. Proceed. This is weird. Why is it complaining about that? Let's go ahead and put 12. Course ID CIST0117. How much credits do we have here? We do have 3 credits. What is grade? F. Oh. I'm going to do a compile problem, insert to complete the methodology. Okay, so I do have a problem somewhere here. Okay, I'm going to take those away, especially that it's a single. Where's the statement? Here it is. Okay, what are you complaining about? This while loop, this for loop goes all the way to here, and then this is for the other for loop. And this one is, yes. Now, what are you complaining about here? Inserted to complete the method. Method body. What method body? I'm not using any methods here. While I'm still inside the second for loop, I'm asking the user to create this new college, and then turning everything here. Right after I'm done with this process, I'm setting the course using... Oh, here is the problem. Sorry, no, there is no problem. Set the course. So for each course, yes, you're going to pass a different STN. Oh, not STN. My problem. This is not STN. This is the number of the course, which is con, C-O-N. Probably, no, but we will be hit by that problem later. Let's give this a try again. Okay, error existing requirement objects as process with lunch, yes, do that. Okay, 12, CIST 0180, course credit 4, that worked. Grade, oh, no, sorry, here we go. I was compiling, okay. Really finding the error right now is not going to be easy. I know what to do. Let's go one by one. I am supposed to be able to, here, click here, that will tell you this is the close of it. Click here, I'll tell you this is the close of it. Click here, that'll tell you this is the close of it, okay. Click here, that'll tell you, yes. Click here, that's the close of it. I'm closing, this is the main, this is the class. I cannot think about this. Let's see here. Why are you complaining? You should not be complaining. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut the video right now, and I'm going to try to figure out what's going on, and then I'll come and explain what is the problem. So, hang out there. Guess who's back? Back again. Here we go. The problem is here. Look at this. I got an open, and I deleted the close. And again, I am so lazy. If I clicked here, it will tell me where's the problem. So I got that solved. Let's go ahead and run the program again. And let's go ahead here. 12 CS 303. 3 credits. What is the grade? F. I deserve an F. Oh, here we go again. We have a problem when you get to the next course ID. Let's fix that. Where's the part where I read the next line here? You know what I'm going to do? The problem is, after reading the integer, I had to clean it. So this will work. And then after I went, and I come back here, I need to clean it again. This is not going to be fun. Because if I clean it twice, when I'm going to try to enter it for the first time, it's going to actually ask, well, you know what? I have an idea. Let's clean it before we go back. So I'll copy this, and let's go, this is the part where I'm going to go and ask for the second course. So let's go ahead and do it here. Let's run it. Student ID 12, CS 303, 3 credits, F, course number 2, CS 202, credits 3. How much is the F again? I have to go 5 times, okay. CS 111, 3, credit F, CS 101, 4. What's the grade? I'm going to make a mistake. T. Try again. Let's go with a B. 5. CS 901. Oh, that's CD. Credit. So 9. That's how much credit. Another F. And now I have to do this 10 times. Lord, oh Lord, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop at this point. For testing, I'm going to change this one to be 1. Student ID 12. Course SF 3 and F. 4 F 3 F 3 F 4 F. Here we go. So here we go. It worked. Woohoo! So student ID number 0. Well, I need to change that. Student number 0. I need to change that to make it 1. Course student ID is 12. All of their F's. Credits are 3. That's what I just. Oh! Look at this. It's repeated the same thing. Okay, that basically means I do have a problem. Let's go ahead and fix that. Number 1, instead of showing the student here, let's add 1 to it. Put a parentheses here. Okay, so temporary STN. This will give me oh, not STN. This is not. I'm supposed to put clone here. Okay. Let's run it again. This time I'm going to be serious, okay? Student ID 112233. CSIT 117. Course ID, credits is 3, grade is B. CIST 180. CIS, no, this is credits, so we'll go with 4, and I'll get an A. And then I'll go CIST 111, and this is credit R3, and then grade I will go with C. CIST 292, that's 4. Grade is an F. CIST 0158, that's 4 credits, and the grade is F. And now it worked. Look at this. Beautiful. Okay, I am done. I'm going to go eat something. Bye.